All right, I hope you can hear me. OB, She's a Beauty, by Kathy Blavett. I loved a lady with sunshine in her hair. Dolphins swim through blue eyes. A feminine free spirit. She goes by OB. She's lived life with a checkered past. A small town girl in a big city. She's hippie with a degree. A surfer from way back who sports bargain bling, tats, and a navel ring. She's an earth goddess with garage sale gins. A sexual being in tight jeans, whether they fit or not. A critical big brother looks down on her from the distant hill. She knows she's wild, but figure it's in the good way. She can live without the praise. Her appetite varies from organic to burgers, likely paired by a beer or tequila shooter. She likes her water clean, but can deal with a slightly tarnished reputation. This girl is proud but not pretentious. She goes through active cycles, but knows when to let things be. In May, her mood swings to gray. By June, she's downright gloomy. On July 4th, she lets loose. Marshmallows are her playful abuse. In summer, she's a party girl, dancing to primeval drums, while casting moonbeams over grunion runs. The siren morphs into mother fall, nurturing, free-thinking, welcoming autumn's moon goddess spirits. Then loss of control to the holiday blitz, a time of celebration dressed in beach town glitz. New Year's reflects upon her crashing shores. Her lovers remember her fondly. Cracking in age only adds to her character. This bohemian queen is an original of timeless beauty. She is our beloved OB.
But you know what? There's some people here who know a whole lot more about what it means to be an OB than I can ever imagine that it is. So my friend Pat, he's going to tell us what it means to be an OB.
Good evening, Ocean Beach 92107. Right? We're not the only Ocean Beach in California, so is everybody in the right Ocean Beach? If you're not, you need to go about 500 miles north. Great turnout, you know, this is wonderful. It gets situated here. My name is Pat James. I came here as a teenager. My next birthday, I'll be able to order off the Denny's senior menu. I came here in 1976 to work with my brothers. We started a screen printing business. From the very beginning, we were involved in community affairs. We started some long-standing, helped start some long-standing traditions in Ocean Beach, like the Ocean Beach Fireworks Festival and Street Fair, the OB Tree and Parade. Eventually, my brothers went on to pursue other endeavors. In 1990, my wife Susan joined me in business. In 1994, we helped found the Ocean Beach Historical Society. She has served as the secretary since then, and I've been the president for the last 10 years. We are OB, and OB is us.
Yeah, that makes you old.
Got to put my cheaters on.
That makes you old.
That does make me old. That's an indication right there. So, part of our role as a historical society is Ocean Beach has a large transient population, and I don't mean the folks that are living on the streets. I mean people like Tracy who come here in the military, or people who come here to work, students, or people who just go go down Interstate 8 until it ends. I'm not nervous, I'm just cold. Ocean Beach has really had a profound effect on the person that I've become. And that explains a lot, right? A little weird. I like to keep it a little weird. So today I've been asked to speak about the spirit of OB. And to me, the spirit of OB really is a feeling. And I see the spirit shining through right here. I mean, this is amazing. It's like the feeling I get when I first came to Ocean Beach, the nostalgic feeling. It's the feeling I get when I see OBians out enjoying the community and everything the community has to offer. It's the feeling I get when I think about my late brother Rich, who himself was a free spirit and loved the Ocean Beach lifestyle. And it's the spirit I see reflected in all the murals around Ocean Beach that he helped create as part of the community mural at Street Fair. And Rich was OBian through and through.
Yeah.
OB has a reputation of being laid back and a place to chill. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather have that reputation than having a reputation of being uptight and on edge. And I've been thinking about this speech a lot, and I really want us to be able to retain that laid-back reputation and not get all uptight. So there's many folks that have worked hard over the years to help define the future of the community. And because of activism, we have many civic organizations like the Ocean Beach Women's Club, probably one of the longest organizations that's been around. They helped plant some of our first landscaping, and they started in a building that sat right where we are, the old Flatiron building, which was taken out by a flood, I think in late 30s or the early 40s. The Ocean Beach Community Planning Group, the first with its precise plan in the city. And I think we have some people here who sat on that first board. Phil Ellsbury's one of them right over here. Is there anybody else here that sat on the first OB Planning Board? Lots of great community organizations. We've got the Friends of the Library, the Town Council, the Mainstreet Association, OB Dollars for Scholars. Anybody add to those? Lots of great groups in town.
Planning Board.
Planning Board, I mentioned that. The Mainstreet Association, I had that on my list. I guess I just missed that. There you go, Sunset Cliffs Surf Club. OB Rag, Frank Gormley right there. OB Geriatrics. That started with the parade. Yeah. Friends of the Library. Okay, now, my brother Mike actually served as the first president of the Merchants Association when we formed in 1980, and that evolved into the Mainstreet Association. And they do a lot of great work in the community. Let's see here. Because of the activism, we have a historic cottage program, which is as unique as the town itself. Thank you, Priscilla McCoy, for that. She worked very hard for several years. We have some 60 cottages on that program that receive a reduction in their property taxes through the Mills Act. And that helps us retain some of our cottages and our history. We've got more open space. Frank Gormley, you were at Collier Park that day, right? So instead of more apartments over there, we've got a community garden, and we've got a native garden. We've got Dog Beach instead of a marina and high-rise hotels. We've got People's Food, a better choice. This is all from activism. The people weren't happy with what they could buy at Safeway. The culture of OB. OB seems to attract very creative people, a place where you feel like you can express yourself freely. Artists, poets, musicians. Some do very well. Maybe you've heard of Slightly Stupid. Thanks, Shirley. We have students, seniors, surfers, people who love adventure, people who love the earth, like Colleen Dietzel. Are you here, Colleen? Colleen has the Green Store Peace and Environmental Shop on Voltaire Street. How many communities have a Peace and Environmental Shop? OB, indeed. People like John and Serena Noble, who have Coastal Sage Gardening and Botany for Kids, to teach kids how to plant seeds and nurture life. John's over here with his son Sage. Hey, Sage! Come to where the ocean waves to you. That's an early call to attract visitors to Ocean Beach. Yes, we were a resort town, and whether we like it or not, we still are a tourist destination. Remember the old bumper sticker, tourists go home but leave your daughters? I married a Zoni. Half of my families are Zonies. They love OB. You know, when Susan was a teenager and she came over here to San Diego to visit, they said, stay away from OB. Guess where the first place they came to? And they walked on the pier at midnight, right, honey? So I think it's important for us to think about tourism, and cultural tourism is big these days. People like to travel to where they can immerse themselves into the culture. And if we want to keep our spirit and our heritage and the way we are, it's important to have a vibrant commercial district here. And I think in order to do that, we do need to rely on a certain amount of visitors, having the tourists come to Ocean Beach. So, and people are going to want to come someplace that's clean and safe and funky. Funky's okay. Dirty, not so much. And a place that's connected to its heritage. So what is it to respect Ocean Beach? Well, that's pretty simple. I mean, respect is pretty much just common decency. Treating somebody like you would like to be treated. Treating your neighborhood, you know, like you would like it to be treated. It's to not litter, to pick up after your dogs, and put your cigarette butts in the proper receptacles, to not tag, carve in the cliffs, etch our windows. Pick up your skate and walk when you're on Newport Avenue, or at least slow down. To share a wave. To keep the annual marshmallow fight on the beach. It started out as something quite innocent and fun. It's escalated into something that's not so fun. It's a disgrace to see the results after the last few years of the marshmallow fight. It ends up at the Veterans Plaza. It's a disgrace to the veterans. It's a disgrace to the community. It's there for months. I encourage all Obetians to please keep the marshmallow fight on the beach this year on the 4th of July. And I wanted to sorry, Andy, am I running a little long here? So I'm just about done here, but I did want to leave you with a pearl here of wisdom. And this was from an interview that Noah did with longtime OB-ian Ruth Valens, and this was when she was 100 years old. She's now 105 years old, and she's probably the longest surviving OB-ian. And this is her advice for a long life. Be happy. Look for the good things in life. There's good in everything if you look for it. Don't dwell on the things you don't like. So in closing, I'd like to leave you with a quote from Voltaire. Not the street, the person the street was named after. We must cultivate our garden. The message there is we must all work to improve our little corner of the planet and be content. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Well, what we need is an affirmation, because affirmations are very important to describe and envision so we can manifest what we want this thing to be. And I don't know of a good one, but I know of one that's pretty okay. Anyone who comes to live in peace and harmony is welcome, but to be accepted, you must respect OB. Yeah. Let's live it. Let's live it. We can do this. So here's somebody else who knows something about what it means to be an OB and love OB and show respect to OB. This is my friend Mike.
Thank you, sir. How y'all doing? Well, I'll find out later. Anyway, I want to give mention to Frank also. I heard he's where are you, Frank? Oh, there you are. Thank you, sir. Thank you for everything. You made my girlfriend now is because of you. Yeah, believe it or not, the article that you wrote. Anyway, my name is Michael Hardin. I own a little hamburger stand called Hodads. Thank you. I grew up here. I grew up on Saratoga. I got all the war wounds to prove it. But we started off on the beach over here. We were there for 11 years, and then we were over on Voltaire Street. Not the person, the street. And then we were there for 11 years. And now we've been on Newport a little over 20 years. I was so happy when we passed the 11-year mark. But anyway. One of the things I want to talk about is the fact of how fortunate we are to be able to live here. Yeah. You know, one of the things I think about, and in my business I deal with a lot of tourists now, and I realize that a lot of people save up all year so they can be here for a week. We get to be here all the time. Yeah. And yes, exactly. That's a privilege to be able to be here. And okay, a lot of times when you go places, I was going up north and I was stopping at this truck stop. And for some reason, I wanted to act like I was a local. Why? You know, I mean, what, do I live in a truck stop? But anytime you go places, you just kind of want to be part of the town. And that's what's so cool about OB is that we're the epitome of a melting pot. We really are. I always tell people we're like the Haight-Ashbury of San Diego. You know, we're the stepchild of San Diego. But you know what? We wear it proudly. And I have seen Ocean Beach change from I remember riots on Abbott Street and watching the police come and then it would just all scatter and turn into parties and stuff like that. I think I have a picture of that in Hodads. And that's how I met most of my friends back in the 70s was doing that. Yeah, I remember you. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, you know, I don't think it's real hard to respect where you live. We all know what it's like to you know, this is our hometown. And we want people to see our hometown for what it is, for what it really is, not for the negative things that we see. You know, I learned a lesson, and I won't go into exactly how I take care of the situation in front of Hodads when I have people that are hanging out that maybe I don't really want them to hang out. But I found a way that really works. And the way that I do it is I show them respect. And I do not do anything in front of people. I always, out of respect, I talk to them just by themselves. And that's huge. When I'm done with the conversation with people, they wind up shaking my hands. 99 times out of 100, they appreciate the fact that I showed them some respect. And I want you all to know, no matter who you are, come up to me. I will always shake your hand. I will always look you in the eyes and say hello. Like, you're awesome, darling. Oh my gosh. This is so awesome. This is like a homecoming, you know? I haven't seen half you guys, and I've been too busy. I don't know what's going on. Just think if I graduated high school, huh? I really would have done something with my life. Anyway. Oh, thank you. Shirley, I love you too. Thank you. But respect it's huge with all of us. We all want respect, but you can't demand it. You can't expect people to respect you if you don't give it right off the bat. And that's why I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to let everyone know that, hey, we want you all here. We love the flavor of this place. This is awesome. But there are certain things that we don't really like, and you wouldn't like it either in your hometown. We want you to live like a local, even if you're just brand spanking new here. Even if today's your first day, you can live like a local from this moment on, and we're welcoming you in. You know, we're not telling you it takes 10 years to become a local, or you have to be born here or something like that. No, this is OB. We got it made here. So anyway, I just want to thank you guys for being out here and remind you that the positive spin is every time you go to the bathroom in the bathroom over here, you're respecting OB. Every time. Right? Thank you. Every time you pick up after your dog, you're showing respect to OB. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. Every time you put your cigarette butt somewhere, or you don't smoke a joint in front of a bunch of kids down on the beach, you're respecting OB. And you're respecting other people around you. And that's all we're doing is we'll give it first, you give it back, all right? But if that doesn't fit, there's so many towns in this country that you can live in that are just almost as good. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike. And I think he would say also if you eat a local hamburger, you're respecting OB. So there's somebody around here, our last speaker, and then we'll wrap it up. Somebody who watches a lot of neighborhoods and knows a lot about things around here. That's my friend Noah.
Yeah. My name is Noah. For those of you that don't know me, man, I love OB. I love OB. This is my town. I've been here my whole life. My grandparents came in the 40s. They're still here, 92, 93 years old, right up on the hill. They've been married 74 years, right? It's an awesome example for me. Stand-up people. We came to OB and we never left. And there's a reason for that. I used to kid my grandparents and I'd say, man, when I was in high school, young and dumb, right? I'd say, when you came in, you came down the coast, like, why didn't you stop in La Jolla? Like, you could have stopped in La Jolla. And, you know, I'm so glad they didn't stop in La Jolla. So I grew up over on Muir Avenue, right over here, right in the war zone, you know. Love Muir Avenue, like... And you know, just ran the streets at night, latchkey kid. My mom, you know, we're just having fun. We played ditch, and I ate dinner more at the Beneventies than the Ellsbury's. You know, Kate and Phil, I ate at their house more than I ate at home. I'd be all over town because it was like a big family, right? We just go around, and it was fun. And as I grew up, it wasn't cool to be an OB. Like, nobody going to Point Loma High School, you know, people say, where are you from? And I'd say, Point Loma. My friends would be like, what was that all about? From OB. Yeah, from OB. I love OB. As I grow up, I realize, you know, and I figure out, like, why do I love OB? So I do this show, right? I'm laying in bed one night and I'm watching this guy, Hugh Hauser, and he's doing a show on California, and he's up and around the coast, and I go, man, I'd like to do a show about San Diego's so cool, you know, I'd like to do a show about San Diego like that. So I start in my, you know, my hometown, my little neighborhood of OB, because that's what I know best. I do this little show, I pitch it around town, PBS picks it up, and it's cool. So I talk about OB, I go down and I talk to some hippies, I have a burger at Hodads, I show when the pier was being built. I mean, I never knew at one point there was no pier on this beach. And I was like, wow, I see the film, you know, and there was no pier at one time. Incredible. So what I found out in my investigating of my neighborhood was that there was this amusement park right here where Dog Beach was, or is now, but it was there, and it was called Wonderland. Opened in 1913, and 4,000 people came down. 4-day trip from LA to come to the biggest amusement park on the West Coast, and it was called Wonderland right here in our town of OB. OB was like the spot to be in, right? Man, it is. And here's my point is, so I do this show and I start to go out to different neighborhoods because they go, okay, Noah, you did a great show on OB, that's cool. Where are you going to go next? I said, I'm going to do another one on OB. And they're like, all right, you know, all right, cool. So I come back to OB, I do it, cool. So then I start to spread out. They go, where are you going to go next? I said, I'm going to do Point Loma. Because they wouldn't let me do a third episode on OB, right? I'm going to do Point Loma. So I start to spread out, and then I go out to like Lakeside. And anybody from Lakeside here? All right, we can talk about Lakeside. No, Lakeside's cool. Lakeside's cool. That's all right. So I go out to Lakeside, and I start to go out to these neighborhoods, and they're cool, you know, they're cool neighborhoods. I mean, San Diego's an awesome place, right? We're so fortunate to be where we are. There's so much to do. You go down to Little Italy, and it's like a whole nother world down there. And as I spread out, I start to meet people, and as I meet people and see their neighborhood and get into the neighborhood, I realize how stoked I am to live in OB. And it's funny because Andy said, yeah, I met these people and they're like, where are you from? And he said, I'm from OB. And they're like, ooh, isn't that dangerous? And he's like, yeah. I love that. I love when people go, where are you from? And I say, I'm from OB. And they're like, oh, really? You know, they like, it's just different. You know why? Because we're different. Like to be in OB is just a different thing. And wherever I go, though, I don't care if I'm in Rancho Santa Fe. I kid you not. Somebody, I'll just be filming, and so I hear this, I love OB! Yeah. You know, like in the middle of Rancho Santa Fe, this guy's like, you know, all three-piece Bentley, like, I used to live in OB, and I'm like, really? In college? He's like, yeah. Everybody, and I kid you not, no matter where I go, everybody lived in OB at one point in their life, you know? And it makes me so proud to be able to say, I love OB. And sure, I start to notice things like, wow, you know, the respect we're talking about. And it's just not cool. You know, different things. I'm like, I'm trying to eat a Hodads burger right down here on the wall. And you know, you just see things that it just bums me out, you know. And a lot of things I see as I cruise around, probably like many of you, you go, yeah. You know, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not, because maybe I'm uptight. Maybe it's just me. And I say, you going to pick up your dog? You know, I don't know. And then I realize as we've gotten into this whole thing, like, I'm not alone. Like, things aren't okay, right? Don't light up a bowl in front of my 11-year-old daughter on the wall. That ain't cool. It's just not cool, right? And I'm like, it's not a matter, right? It's not a matter whether you smoke pot or not. That's your business. It's just, come on, man. You know, come on, man. And so I know I'm preaching to the choir. I understand that, or you wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here because we all agree that we love OB. And OB is like the best place for us. And so what I want to say is I thank all of you for coming out here. And the fabric of OB is us. It's the people. The people is what makes OB. And I realized that as I started digging around, I was like, man, that's great. Like the fireworks, woohoo! And I realized like Pat James and his family like did that, started that for all of us. And sure, there's people that have come along just like OBians do. They come alongside each other and they say, let's do this, you know, let's do this. So when we all got together and started talking about doing this, I was like skeptical at first, right? Just like all of us. We're like, well, what is it about? I'm not about hating. I don't want to be finger pointing, and I don't want to, but I want to show some respect. You can't give respect unless you respect yourself, right? So it's got to start somewhere, and then you can give that respect, and then you get it. I mean, let's all, can't we all get along? Right? Come on. And so here we are, and I'm so proud to be a part of this, and I'm so at the same time humbled, and it's awesome. It is like Mayberry here. We all come together, and we're like, let's do something good. We're not going to wake up tomorrow and everybody's, we're all, woo, it's all happy. But this is a great step in the right. Let's just take a little step right now. And it's not about being against somebody or something. It's about being for OB. Yeah. And I'm for OB.
Yeah.
Thanks.